there, it's Anonymous Tea, where we spill the tea anonymously. Hello, everyone. Hello, YouTubers. Hope you guys are all having an amazing day today, sending good vibes, sending positivity, sending blessings, and good energy to each and every single one of you. Thank you so much for tuning in. So today we're talking love and marriage, Huntsville. You guys know why you are here. Today we are talking because there are a few things that I need to recap from Carlos King's Messy Monday with Dr. Heavenly. Although somebody is alleging that Carlos King stole that from them as well. And they posted receipts from like 2021, you guys. But nonetheless, we're going to talk about this recap with Dr. Heavenly because it is clear as day that one, Carlos King is not close with Melody Cherie Rogers as he claims, and two, Dr. Heavenly has been out of the loop for so long, claiming up and down and back and forth how good of a friend Melody Cherie Rogers was to her, and is completely and utterly shocked that all of a sudden her proclamation that Mel and Tel were going to get back together one day was completely and utterly flat out wrong, was something, right? So a few things I want to talk about, right? One is I still felt Carlos tried to present Marlene caping for her problematic son as, you know, trying to diminish it, but trying to project it as though that's what the audience said, because clearly that's not what Carlos King agrees with. And then Dr. Heavenly was like, listen, you know, if it was me, if it was my kids, I would, you know, go to bat for them on camera, and then behind closed doors, I would tell them, you know, that they were wrong. No. See, this is the problem. This is why you guys have enabled a monster on this show, because you don't tell him he's wrong. You don't tell him he is doing anything that is crossing the line. Which is why he feels empowered to up the ante on all of this tomfoolery, on all of this foolishness, right? And I find it hilarious that Dr. Heavenly, of all people, is saying that she's going to check somebody when pretty much it shows, based off of how her husband moves, that regardless of whatever he is or isn't doing, that he has you in check. Right? Because he's the one that told you to shut down your YouTube channel. And you have to hide on Patreon to do content, you guys. Or go on Carlos King's platform to do content. So again, who's running who? Dr. Heavenly. Who's running who, right? And so then also there was a conversation on whether or not this arrest was staged. Carlos King, you know, for all intents and purposes, is all about the integrity of the show and blah, 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 blah. But Dr. Heavenly feels that this was staged and that Martel knew there was a warrant out for his arrest. And conveniently, you're going to set this up the first day of filming. You just happen to be at the, you know, going to the courthouse to get some paperwork, and your kids just happened to be in the car. Because here's the thing, the reason the kids were there is for the sympathy angle, to make it look like, oh man, this black man got arrested, and you know, his kids were in the car, that's not cool, blah, 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 blah. No. Here's the thing. Now, technically, from what I understand, is you are not required to notify anybody that there's a warrant out for their arrest, right? However, with that being said, it is mighty convenient that you happen to know something, because you've alluded to it in several interviews since, that you have buddies in the courthouse. So somebody clearly tipped you off on something. You knew prior to filming that there was a warrant out for your arrest, but you needed a storyline since Mel wants nothing to do with you and Mel didn't want to film with you any further. And Carlos King then also added some tea that Mel and Tel haven't even been on speaking terms, and that everything has been through the court, which I find interesting because the whole point was that prior to all of this, they were not on speaking terms. It was Martel that demanded the courts to give him a cell phone number that he could reach Mel and then continue this harassment, because he was not satisfied with a third-party intermediary or only having access to Mel's email. It's funny how the goalpost keeps changing, you guys. It was Martel who wanted to be in contact with Mel so that he can continue this harassment of her and bugging her and bothering her, right? And just saying whatever if she doesn't do what he wants her to do. But now all of a sudden, oh no, they weren't speaking at all, and she just happened to just drop this on him. No. And then we get into the backstory of, whether or not Mel would have done this show, regarding the circumstances of her and Martel's marriage, and what is the real reason Mel left. And here's the thing, Carlos King and Dr. Heavenly were flat out wrong on this, right? Because one, Carlos King, now he did at least confirm that Mel did not want to do the show once she realized the cheating was still happening with Martel, and told Carlos King that they should take a break before filming the show until she figures out what she wants to do, if she wants to stay in this marriage or not, or if Martel's going to keep cheating. And Carlos King told her basically, listen, it's a reality TV show, you need to show your reality, let's do it. Make it make sense. So basically you're confirming that you enabled this toxicity because you wanted a hit TV show. And also, furthermore, with that being said, you're confirming that you didn't care about Melody Shree Rogers' mental health. You didn't care about the stress and things that Mel was going through. You didn't care about the fact that Martel was cheating on her, or what this could do to Mel and the kids and all this being on display for reality TV. All you cared about was ratings. And you knew that the rest of the cast outside of the storyline with Maurice's first wife and the timeline of him and Kimmy getting together, that nonetheless you were going to have something there, right? And the rest of the cast was allowed to give nothing for a storyline. The rest of the cast was allowed. Basically, you're confirming that the orders were sent out to the cast that, hey, we know Martel's still cheating on Mel. So therefore, you guys don't have to tell your truth, because we're just going to ride this out, because we're going to just, center this show around all of the Martel and Mel drama, you guys. And that's what happened. And that's why we're 7 seasons in, and it is still the rest of the cast talking about Mel and Tel's issues. Funny how that happens, right? Funny how all of that works, right? Also, another problem that I had, another issue that I had, was the conversation around the timeline of when Melody Shree left Martel and the why. And whether or not, if this TV show happened, if she would have left him anyways, right? Well, here's the thing. TV show or not, Mel is going to leave Martel for cheating on her. Like that's not like breaking news, right? Nonetheless, with that being said, Carlos King seems to think that he's the expert because he claims to be a millimeter, but for some reason he has the facts wrong. He's claiming Mel only left Martel because of the side chick getting pregnant. No. She left before that. So, see, this is what I mean. You're trying to put out this narrative that Mel would have stuck around with Martel had this side baby not happened. No. And then I hate this narrative that Dr. Heavenly is assuming that Mel felt quote-unquote pressure from the outside world, since she's a reality TV star, to divorce Martel because of his cheating, and had this been behind closed doors, she would have stuck around. No. And furthermore, basically tries to group everybody as one that she knows in her personal life of people who stay with cheating spouses for whatever reasons, right? But here's the thing. We gotta stop lying on Mel. We have to stop, and I already see the angle that Carlos and Dr. Heavenly are doing, and basically Carlos King is pretending to be a good cop and pretending to quote-unquote spill tea, even though some of the tea is kind of altered to favor Martel. Nonetheless, and then Dr. Heavenly's playing bad cop, like she's allegedly trying to hold everyone accountable, but it's really BS. It's really a backhanded way to continue to shade Melody Cherie Rogers, who she, for all intents and purposes, keeps referring to as her friend. Which no friend is going to be dragging me like this on social media, first and foremost. We're not friends. If you're going to say the ridiculous things that I should stay with a cheater and an ABUSER for clout and for bragging rights, and for the years married together, no. And then here's the other thing, right? A lot of times, if we're going to keep it a buck, that people, you know, in yesteryear, some of your parents, your grandparents, great-grandparents, or whoever that may have stayed married through cheating or an outside child or whatever, sometimes it was a family secret that people didn't know till like years later, right? Other things was, obviously, there were not the same level of rights and job opportunities and education and all of these things that women, and in particular black women, had back in the day, right? And so you're talking about, especially in the baby boomer age, where, you know, some of your grandparents, great-grandparents, and whomever else, you got all types of cousins and aunts and uncles, because they had anywhere from like 6 to 12 kids, right? So imagine that. Imagine finding out your spouse is cheating and you have no education, you have no job because you were the homemaker trying to raise all these kids, and you have no way to get anything independent for yourself to support yourself and the kids as a single parent. So they weren't just staying to just quote unquote put up with it. They were staying because the resources were not there at the time for them to leave. But in 2024, the resources are for them to leave. And Mel's making even more money now than what she was when she was married to the fool. So again, we've got to stop this, pretending to know it all and have all of the answers just because, and this is the same thing Martell did on the show. He thought Mel was going to stay because of quote unquote the older couples that he knows stayed through their infidelities, or even alluding to some of his own castmates alleging that they stayed through the infidelities and didn't understand why Mel wouldn't. No. That's not how this was going to work. And Mel gave Martell the chance. The reason she didn't leave initially was because Martell love bombed her again and tried to convince her that the cheating was over, that the cheating was done, except for it was not. Except for it ramped right back up. And here's the thing. How can you judge when somebody leaves a marriage? Mel had it planned out that if Martell was going to continue cheating on her, she had an exit plan. Now, she may have not left when you wanted her to, even though she's left previously when Martell has cheated on her and or did her wrong in some capacity. She's had apartments, she's had other places to stay, and has left him before. So this notion that she's only leaving because of a baby, no. She's left before because of the cheating. And this is why you can't call yourself, a friend of Mel's and having tea if you're not going to tell the truth, if you're not going to tell the real. I don't even know Mel personally, and I know this information, right? And so it is very disgusting. It's very disturbing, what they're trying to do and what narrative they're trying to put out there, as if, having a baby on somebody is the only way it's going to be a deal breaker. No. The cheating was already a deal breaker. Here's the thing. Mel had all of her businesses intertwined with Martell. And initially, she was already seeing divorce attorneys in the earlier seasons, right? But ultimately, she thought this was going to get Martell in line, and instead, he thought that he could do more and be a lot more out here in these streets just being an F-boy. And so with that being said, Mel had to plan her exit plan. She had to have her exit strategy and say, since I'm leaving for good this time, I need to dissolve all these businesses. I need to make a plan for me and the 4 kids. I need to do X, Y, and Z. On top of that, I am doing a reality show. I need to make sure all of my ducks in a row, so by the time I file for a divorce, by the time this divorce is finalized, I have nothing to do with Martel, and he has nothing to do with me outside of these kids. And that's what got executed, you guys. Is Martel has no claim to anything that Mel has business-wise right now. And Mel didn't want anything from Martel's broke behind either, because she knew even the little coins that he's getting is barely enough for him to even do anything for the kids, right? So nonetheless, she didn't even want to, go down that road, because she knew Martel was going to try to hold up paying or try to set it up so that Mel could pay and say that Mel's the breadwinner. So I think Mel had her own reasons of not trying to put Martel on child support or anything else, because they would have assessed all these businesses that Mel has now and basically try to say, hey, since you make all this money, we need you to support Martel. And that's not going to happen. She's not about to, pay in a divorce, in a post-divorce situation, for Martel to continue funding his mistress that he was doing in the marriage. No. And then Carlos King said as well, confirmed that Martel proposed to Mel at graduation, at her college graduation, and Dr. Heavenly thinks this is so cute. I think it's very narcissistic, you guys. Here's the thing. I know somebody who proposed at somebody's wedding, somebody else's wedding. I know somebody who proposed at somebody's first year wedding anniversary who's already been married before. And so again, I know people who do that, and those are the people that you gotta watch for, because those are the people who are serial people who just have to be with somebody and are doing it for the optics and being in love with being in love, but then they quickly get bored or tired of the person that they're with and they're moving on to the next. Martel saw a gold mine as it pertained to Melody Cherie Rogers. He was local in these Huntsville streets and saw a come up, you guys. It was not completely genuine on Martel's part. Let's just say that, right? He knew that Mel came from a good family, which he did not. He knew Mel had, even though she wasn't established yet in her career, she had a plan of what she was going to do, being a teacher, being all these things, and Martel saw her go-getter mentality, her go-getter attitude, her, plan for herself, where she sees herself. She probably already had it mapped out, where she saw herself in 1 year, 5 year, 10 years, and that was when, Martel was like, okay, jackpot, this is what we're going to do. Unfortunately, Mel didn't see it at first, because Martel was love bombing her. Martel was presenting this image that they were in this for the long haul, that everything was genuine on his part. No. He knew he came from a criminal family. He knew he came from a dysfunctional family, and he wanted to basically insert himself into a good family and hope that rehabbed his image, and that he could try to, basically scam himself to the top, you guys. Except for he was too sloppy and too obvious and too ignorant to do right by his wife and do right by his children, that it kept getting exposed his true nature. But again, this thing that Carlos King and Dr. Heavenly are doing on this Messy Monday recap of Love Marriage Huntsville is very dangerous, especially as it pertains to Mel and Tel. If you're going to spill the tea, can you spill the real tea, Carlos? And not spill only partial tea that confirms what we've been saying for years about Mel, that she is a producer of the show, that she did not want to do this show because she did not want the cheating out there. She wanted to try to see if the marriage was salvageable first and foremost before continuing, before making that decision on whether or not to move forward with this reality show and all of these things. And then you add butter on top of it. You add all these other caveats to it to make it seem as though there's a problem, that we don't have the full story, that we don't have everything on both sides of everything. No. No, right? So there's that. I need to know your guys' thoughts in the comments about this. What do you guys think of the following? What do you think of Carlos King trying to project that these are the people's opinions and not his, so that he doesn't get dragged, and allows Dr. Heavenly basically to say the things he really wants to say, but he knows he's going to get dragged if it comes out of his mouth? Right? As it pertains to the strong reaction people had to Marlene and her foolishness and her gaslighting, Dr. Heavenly defending it because it was quote-unquote filmed, and then trying to even compare couples that stay to the Tiny and T.I. situation, which is just completely and utterly, like, let's not even go there, because there's a lot more that meets the eye that's just besides the cheating and all the other foolery that's taking place. There's a lot more that's going on there with the allegations against them. So let's not even compare them to any type of couple that is sticking around, right? And a lot of times that people stick around, especially in these Hollywood and reality TV spaces, is because they want to keep up the clout. They want to keep up the attention, or they want to keep up a certain lifestyle. But they know they basically live separate lives. They know basically that they're unhappy, right? So that's the other piece in this quote-unquote modern day. It's not because, they want to try to work on the marriage. It's either A, for the kids, but they believe, okay, well, we should still have a two-parent household even though we don't like each other, even though I know you're a dog. Or they like the lifestyle. They don't want to give up the lifestyle or the clout or the attention or the opportunities by being married to this particular person, except for in the case of Mel. Mel knew that she was the prize. Mel knew that she was the draw, so therefore there was no need to stick around. On top of Martel not stopping cheating and having the audacity to tell Mel that he wasn't going to, after saying previous times that it was done, but saw the success of the show and thought that he could have his cake and eat it too, like other people that he knew and referenced, right? What do you think of Carlos King telling partial truths of some of the behind-the-scenes quote-unquote tea of Mel and Tao, but not telling it all so that it still kind of frames Martel in a good light? There is nothing positive, you guys, about taking away somebody's moment at a graduation to propose to them. Like make it make sense, right? Also, Dr. Heavenly trying to, say that Mel only left Tell because of the pressure of the show, and Carlos King trying to put out there that Mel only left because of the side chick having a kid. No. When she left, wait, before that. Like I said, I don't like what's happening. If you're going to keep it real, regardless if you like these people or not, Carlos, can you tell the full truth for once? Don't stop trying to make Martel look like an angel, look like he is the victim in all this. It's got to stop. We're not going to fall for it. And you keep confirming, the more you do these blogs, the more you do these recaps, that everything we've been saying for years is verified, but you didn't want that out there when it wasn't a benefit to you, because you knew that made you look bad, it made you look problematic. But now this is concrete proof, this is receipts that you can take to court and say, Carlos King knew that I did not want to do this show because my husband was cheating, and I wanted to see whether or not this cheating was going to stop for good before filming began, and you said no, you wanted me to show my reality. However, the rest of the cast did not have to show theirs and got to just rally behind my drama with my ex-husband. No. So there is that. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you're notified the moment I post new content on my channel. And with that being said, I'll talk to you guys again very soon.